The instant version of Thermoeyes is a wonderful technology for creating very effective moist heat compresses. There are two sizes available, the smaller of which is used with the original goggle, and the larger, what we call XR Instant, is used with the XR goggle. The smaller of the two is going to generate about 18 to 20 minutes of heat per application. The larger one, you're going to get about 25 minutes. One of the big advantages of the larger is that you have more area covered too, so you're going to get not just the lid, but the entire area around the eye. They're used the same way, and before you start with the moist heat, regardless of the size of goggle that you have, you want to remove these black sponges that are in the back of the goggle. These are used for sleep. Put those aside, you're not going to be using them while you're using the gel packs. The neat thing about this technology is it's portable. You can activate it anywhere. And the way that it activates, there's a little stainless steel disc that's inside the packet. The fluid that's inside is a non-toxic food-grade salt water. We call it sodium acetate. When that little stainless steel disc is bent back and forth, it creates a sound, a frequency, that changes the molecular structure from liquid to crystal, and that process generates heat. That's going to be our heat source. As we know, we do moist heat, not just dry heat, so we always add moisture when we're creating these therapies. In this case, we're going to have moisture come from our sponge, our white sponge. There's the smaller one for the original goggle and the larger one, of course, for the XR. You want to soak it in water that is water you would drink, so bottled water, anything that doesn't have chlorine in it is essential because the chlorine can be very irritating to the eye. A lot of people these days have filtration systems in their home, which is just fine. You want it warm, comfortably warm. You're going to soak the pad first, so you've removed your black sponges from the goggle. You're going to take your white sponge, soak it into some water, and if you have hot water, great. If not, put it in the microwave for a couple seconds, take it out, really about 15 seconds. Then you're going to activate your gel packs. You're going to roll the little stainless steel disc to one of the narrow sides of the gel pack and bend it back and forth. And again, the sound, if you can hear it, is going to create a frequency that my hand's out wet. There it goes. So you can see it activating. Once it activates, you're going to take your white sponge, put it into the back of the goggle. It's going to go first. One of the nice things about this technology is that with these gel packs, the instant, we can regulate the temperature by the amount of fluid that's inside. So it's never going to get too hot to burn the eyelid, and it's going to stay hot enough to express the glands. So you're able to put the gel pack right on the eye. It's a preference. Most people prefer it like this. If you like, you can always have the white sponge on top. This is going to be less heat than this, so we recommend starting with the white sponge on the bottom and the blue gel pack on the top. And you would do the same with your larger version. You're going to soak it in the hot water, put it in first, put this on top after you've activated it, and now you have two means of making a very nice hot moist heat compress. One of the most compelling things about this technology is that it is portable. We call it the Porsche. It's a little bit more maintenance to reuse it. You do get 100 uses out of it. To reuse, you are going to have to boil these gel packs after each use. For the smaller of the two, you have to boil it for about 2 to 3 minutes in a continuous rolling boil. Unfortunately, just hot water isn't going to be hot enough. It has to be a continuous rolling boil. With the larger of the pack, it's about 5 minutes. Now, if you can put a pot on the stove and do it on the stove easily. A lot of folks, they like to buy these little hot pots. They're electric tea kettles, and they bring water to a boil in about a minute. You can find them at any drugstore. After you've boiled it, you remove them, lay them out on a towel, let them bring them back to room temperature before you try to reuse them. On that note, if you were ever to have go to reuse it and it won't activate, often the #1 reason is that it wasn't boiled long enough, which is why you have to have a continuous rolling boil. We need to melt all of those crystals back to liquid so we can reuse it. That's why it's Porsche, high performance, high maintenance.